guys, welcome back. Something new to the channel again. I'm going to do little one-to-ones and catch-ups with wedding photographers. So today I'm catching up with Phil from Blackpool.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just out.
So we're just going to have a chat, go through some questions and stuff about who we are, what we do, and have a look at sort of the dreaded top 5 questions that wedding photographers get asked. So, just a little bit about yourself. How long have you been shooting weddings for now, Phil?
Weddings, I've been shooting about 12 months, so fairly new to the industry still. Journey all in all with the camera's about 3 years, and it's gone from strength to strength, so good times.
Enjoying it?
Absolutely love it. It's one of those very cliche, wish I'd done it 20 years ago. But I feel like I'm definitely in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people.
We've obviously done the Have You Shot at My Venue Before video that you were part of with Helen and Jack.
Yep.
How was the shoot for that?
It's really interesting. Obviously, we're trying to replicate what we deal with on a wedding day the best that we can, having not shot at a venue before, if that makes sense. So not so much pressure, but just being able to work on the fly is something that obviously that we guys have to do from a professional point of view really well, and I felt as though I dealt with it.
So yeah, so one of the top 5 questions that we get asked is, have you shot at my venue before?
Yep.
We've discussed it before in the group chat and stuff, and between the two of us, we don't think it's massively important. Is that fair to say?
No, yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I don't feel as though it is massively important. It can be beneficial. But again, as we mentioned in the video before, there's so many variants that it comes inconsequential whether you're overall.
Do you think if you've not shot a venue, is it important to do a visit prior to the wedding?
It's not critical. It could potentially help, but at the stage that I'm at, I might do that because it'll benefit me potentially. But again, weather dependent, light dependent, time of year. Somebody books me for a wedding in November, but it's January when I get the booking. There's no point in visiting at that point.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I probably wouldn't, but if it's really specific from the right, then
I'm pretty much the same. It's like, there's no way that a venue visit in January is going to be beneficial for an August wedding anyway. And then when it comes into wedding season, you end up being too busy to get out to go and do it all as well. Mm-hmm. So personally, I like to rock up sort of half an hour early, have a bit of a nose around and do it that way. So another one that I get asked a lot is, do you have a second photographer? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to sort of pick your brains and another photographer, and like, is it beneficial to have a second? What do you think?
Absolutely, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. Or wherever possible, have a second photographer. For a multitude of reasons, ranging from more candids, touch wood, it never happens, but your primary shooter ends up being ill on the day and for whatever reason can't make it, there is an immediate backup facility available to you.
That links in really nicely because the next one is, what do you do if there's an emergency or you're ill?
If I'm ill, and it's never happened, and touch wood, it never does, but I look to try and second shoot with somebody all the time so that they can fulfil the role of the primary shooter. Worst case scenario, I would say, is that I'm very well networked within the community and more than confident with the backbone of it that will continue to help.
I think that in the northwest, so sort of Manchester, northwest of England area, we've got an amazing network.
Yep.
And there's people out there that, and I've seen it in the groups, and we've seen it where someone's stuck on a motorway and someone else gets to bridal prep for them and shoots bridal prep for 20 minutes, half an hour, just to cover them. And it's great. But again, if you've got a second photographer that's at groom prep, they can jump over him. Yeah. I love having a second. I like a bit of company during the day. Yeah. I don't feel it's massively essential, but I think like for a bigger wedding, 120 guests, like if I'm off doing group shots and portraits, like my second can be doing candids and drink reception stuff as well, which is good. And especially if you've got like a really tight turnaround, like you get like an hour for your turnaround drink reception. That can be a killer for not getting candids.
That's the one. But count will go up very quickly.
Yes. It seems to be more and more common as well, what equipment you use.
I've only had that once or twice, but I can see the point that it does come around, and unless somebody has a really avid interest in photography itself, to me, I'm learning more so why people might ask it, and I feel as though people might be sort of the word I'm looking for. They may be educated by previous brides, or maybe suggested that it's something important to ask, because the last thing you want is your photographer turning up with a potato to take pictures. However, knowing that actually it was only A7 III and it's certain megapixels, is that really vital
I'm horrendous because I couldn't tell you what megapixels my camera is. I know the brand, I know the make and the model, and I'm a Canon shooter and I work on the 5D Mark III, but I couldn't tell you any more spec than that because it's not who I am. I'm not like I'm a bit of a gear nerd, and I love knowing sort of equipment and playing with cameras and stuff like that, but I don't find equipment to be massively important.
No, again, from the point of view of the bride, as long as you've got backup equipment, that's what I would say is critical. If the bride is looking at a photographer, it should be fundamental that they've got insurance, so on and so forth, but when you're looking at it from a point of view of equipment, do they use multiple bodies, lenses? If somebody's got one camera, one lens, touch wood, it doesn't happen to the photographer or the bride or groom because of
I've had it happen.
I had a lens lock on me during a ceremony. Panic like mad.
I've had card failure. I've had a lens lock up and won't change the exposure and aperture and stuff, and it just wouldn't work. So that went in the bag, and the replacements come out. Yeah, I think that's more critical than what you actually do. I've seen it more and more. I think this is more from a photographer's perspective, that people get angry that, oh, you're a weekend warrior, you're only part-time, you only shoot weekend weddings because you've got a full-time job. Do you think it matters whether a photographer's full-time or part-time? Well, in fact, it's not even part-time, because it's still another full-time job in my eyes.
Yeah. To me, it's inconsequential. If that photographer can do the job that you want them to do, irrespective of if they do it one day at 365 or if they're shooting 80 weddings a year, like some people we know.
Shooting 80 weddings a year, just...
as long as they can do the job that they're employed to, it's irrespective of whether they're full-time, part-time. It can be beneficial because they're getting more experience, but ultimately,
no, that's great. Thank you for coming down and having a chat, and for dropping in on the other video that I'm going to link to somewhere along here or up here, or somewhere around. But yeah, so check that one out as well. Thank you so much for dropping in and having a chat.
Thanks for having me here, mate.
No, absolute pleasure. It's been great. And keep watching, and there's more videos coming for interviews with photographers and have you shot in that venue before, so there's going to be a full series on that, and that should be linked somewhere. But yeah, thank you very much. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Nice one. Good job.